Right music for Lagos.
102.3 Max FM.
The musical genius. Welcome, John and Drille. And first off, let's start with congratulations on the multiple number of streams that you're doing. Like in less than 5 days.
Yes.
In less than 5 days, you had more than 3 million streams,
Yes,
which is
yes,
huge. I
yes,
mean, why did it take you so long, first off, to give us an album?
I don't know. I just think just time and chance, and just being ready. I don't think I wasn't ready before. I just think maybe everybody wasn't ready.
Okay.
But I think right now we're at the point that
you starved us so much. We cried, Johnny. You give us album.
I know.
So,
Since 2017, though.
As in,
because I gotta clarify, I gotta check that in. Since 2017.
As a matter of fact, so I got signed in 2017, but I've been doing music professionally since 2012.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Since Mavins signed you
Yes.
in 2017, we didn't get
Yes.
that project, that album.
I know. It's it took so long, but I'm grateful that we're able to put it out. And big shout out to the fans for being patient.
Man, for real though.
Yeah.
But interestingly, you check the trend. You will notice that even though you didn't drop an album,
Yes.
you kept on dropping singles after
Yes.
singles.
Yes.
At some point I counted, and I think I counted up to like 17, 18, 19.
True.
And I'm like, wait,
True.
why are you giving us all these singles but no album?
Yeah.
So like, I'm curious, why that route for you though? Like, why was it the singles and not the album?
To be honest, I've always wanted to put an album. I've always thought of myself as an album person rather than a single person. But I think there was a time in our music space where if you put out an album, a lot of people were not going to listen to it. Things were happening so fast. And you see that you spend so much time working on so many songs, and people just listen to one or two, and then that's it. You understand?
Yeah.
So I know there was an era in the Nigerian music space that was like this. Not just me; everybody was dropping singles. And I guess maybe I shouldn't have been scared of that and just gone ahead and put out the project. But I think after a while, people started to now welcome albums more, and everyone. It sounds like everyone started going album.
do you think that that's because of the COVID-19? Because I mean, during the pandemic, that wasn't anything changed.
Sure, I think so. I think COVID changed a lot of things. I think a lot of people were home, so they had all the time in the world to listen to all the music they wanted.
Yeah.
So what did COVID change the most about you?
I think
Tough one, yeah.
yeah, it's a tough one. It changed a lot, but I know for artists in general, and I speak for both myself and a lot of artists, that period was one of the worst because artists are used to being out there, being on stage performing, and not being able to do that and just being indoors for that kind of period was pretty sad times especially for me. And so I think if anything, it just made me realize how much I wanted to be on stage, how much I wanted to be out there, and not being able to do that was pretty depressing
For you.
Yes.
Man, I feel you on that though.
Well, currently we're live on Instagram at Max1023FM. Go on there, go drop your questions,
Yes,
your comments, see what we're looking like, see how fly he's
You
looking.
know, I gotta look fly. And I'm in my PJs, keeping with the theme.
Yeah,
Before we fall asleep.
I told
We're
Johnny
heading
when
there.
he came in, I said, so you happy now? You made everybody come up with your listening in pajamas. Like, are you? Man,
But really, let's talk
that's
about
crazy.
the album now.
Yeah.
First off, that title, Before We Fall Asleep.
Yes.
And who came up with that creative idea of your listening with your
Yeah.
fans, being that intimate with you in a pajamas, singing
Man.
to them on top of a bed?
You know what
Who
I mean?
came up with that idea?
On a bed,
on
pajamas,
a bed.
love songs, all of that.
You know.
Well, I mean, the whole idea of having a listening with fans and having that intimate was my idea. But the idea of, of course, the album title was my idea as well. But then the idea of having, literally a bed as a stage,
Yeah.
and people in PJs, we had a meeting at Maven, and then people were, I think someone suggested this, and another person suggested that, and the whole idea just made so
I
much
just pray to
sense.
increase the salary of those people.
I pray so. I hope so.
But really, why Before We Fall Asleep?
So Before We Fall Asleep, the album title, as a matter of fact, the full title is Fall in Love Before We Fall Asleep.
Oh.
Yeah, but that would be too long.
Ah,
That would be
okay.
too
That's
long.
very sexual. Fall in love before we fall asleep.
It's not sexual.
It's very sexual
Before we
to me.
die.
No.
Like, they fall asleep, you're thinking
Is it
it's
die?
different. It's
Before we
totally
die.
different. Exactly. Like,
Oh.
Let's
What's
do it
wrong
right
with
now.
you?
I'm sorry, I'm
My
just...
mind is going places.
You know,
My
I mean,
mind
like,
was going
Sarah,
places.
keep your mind on it.
My mind was going places, bro. I cannot even lie. So why is it even before? Why did you just say before we die as a title? Why before we fall asleep?
I think Before We Fall Asleep just made more sense as an album title. It was just more inviting, more. It just sounded more like an album title like that. If you saw my album title, it's like Before We Die, you wouldn't want to listen to it. Like, you'd be like, no, I don't
God
want to
forbid,
be.
I
God
don't
forbid,
wanna
like,
die.
You know, I think I really would want to listen to
Ah,
that
I
he's
would
a weird guy.
the
I
Titan
would
before
too.
we die. I totally
Yeah, I
want to
would
listen
too.
to
It looks
that.
like someone that would be like.
Hit music for Lagos. 102.3 Max